How's it going, folks? Oh no, I've turned into a bloody great big sack of pasta. What am I gonna do? This is unbelievable. How do I get back to my human form? No, but seriously, guys, how fucking big is this sack of pasta we got? It's like a fucking baby. Some people get dogs or pets, you know, to test the waters and whether they're good with the kid. We just get a fucking 5 kilogram sack of pasta. I mean, I'm aware that that's not the most riveting way to start any YouTube video, but look, it's lockdown. Anything goes. If it means starting a video pretending that I'm a sack of pasta, we're just gonna have to roll with it, baby. How's it actually going, folks? Welcome to the channel. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all staying safe. In my last video, I mentioned that it was an absolute bloody scorcher outside at the moment. Well, today it's very much not that. The weather's done a complete 180 on us over here in the UK. Much like John Voight, it's grey and I just want it to change. But it does make it easier to stay inside and do videos and not feel terrible about myself. At the moment, I'm in a weird time where I'm feeling way more productive than ever, but I've got so many thoughts on different videos in my head. So I thought I'd ask you guys for your input. In a rare display of democracy on this channel that the Queen herself called, and I quote, worthy of a knighthood, to be honest. Unbelievable. Who would have thought Queenie watches my stuff, eh? Madness. So I put a very cheeky little poll out on the channel, asked you guys what you wanted to see next from me on a video, and overwhelmingly you guys said general lockdown watches. So my brethren, I guess that's what we're doing here today. So kick back. I've just realised I don't have a fucking tea. Holy shit. Whoa. Now that was some cinema. Kick back, grab yourself a beverage, and let's talk about some things I've been watching. Good tea, Stu. Every time. Cheers, Stu. Thanks. I'll get you back. Before we do get cracking today, though, I just wanted to say a massive welcome to all you delicious folks that have recently subbed to the channel. Welcome to the family. He says, definitely not sounding like a cult leader. But if you're still watching this and you're thinking, I'm not one of those people that subscribed, change it. But most importantly, regardless of what you will or will not be clicking on this here page, please let me know what you've been watching during this whole lockdown phase down below in the comments. We'll have a big old discussion. I'm interested. I want new things to watch. And I also want to go, that is a good thing that you watch. Stay out of it, Greatest Showman. I don't want to hear anything about Greatest Shit. None of it. So let's start with some movies, huh? I've split this video up into types of media because I guess I'm just that organized.
I guess I'm just that organized. Yeah. I split the video into movies and TV shows. You wanna see my organized folder? Well, you can, cause it's just too organized. Organizing.
Movies. There's a lot of them. Can that be the general catchphrase for movies? Who do I have to talk to about this? One of the big new things for me during this whole lockdown thing is that I've expanded my streaming service collection, I guess. Has anyone ever called their streaming service collection a collection? I got Mubi. Don't know if you've heard of it, but it's been an absolute gem for catching up on films. I've basically spent my whole life telling people, yeah, I've definitely seen it. I have seen that one. I have. Don't ask me about any of the plot details. I've definitely seen it. Had a bit of Jean-Luc Godard on there. Ooh. Yes, I know French. Not very well. Okay, let's move on. I've only ever seen a couple of Godard's films before, and I don't need to tell you that he's done much more than a couple. And I watched 2 of his films, later films from the 60s and 70s, I believe, respectively. And those were First Name, Carmen, and Detective. I'm just waving this around like a wand. I'm putting it down. 2 films I really enjoyed. Not my favorite compared to the other ones I've seen. Obviously, like Breathless and those classics. I think at this point I can safely say I feel like I prefer early Godard's work than later Godard's work, but it's chaotic and confusing in just the right ways and just the right amount of ways. But I do feel like it kind of suffered from the problems that I find myself finding with a lot of Godard's films, especially on the first watch. So there's always something pulling me back from getting involved with any of these characters. And I know that's the point, but I can't help but feeling like that. It just makes that viewing experience a little bit less satisfying, even though I know it's what he's trying to do here. But the other Godard I watched was Detective, which seemed like a much more kind of accessible film for Godard, even though it clearly had some of his directing staples in there, no doubt. I enjoyed it and I was able to get into it more just because it feels more accessible, but I'm not sure if I got as much from it, because once you get through about halfway this film, it just sort of feels like the same thing over and over. It's good though, it's got guns. In the grand scale of things, it's not as high as some of his classics. But I'll tell you what else Mubi has been an absolute dream for at the moment. I don't know if it just seems to have timed itself like that or whether they regularly do this. I've obviously only had it for like, what, a month or 2 now. But there is a load of South Korean classics on there at the moment, which I could not wait to sink my teeth into. I love Park Chan-wook as a director. Never seen a Vengeance trilogy. All on Mubi, amazingly. So I watched those. I mean, not all of them. I'm going to watch Lady Vengeance tonight, just I'm sorry, but the first two I have seen, and fuck me, yes, there's a reason they're classics. It's gonna sound incredibly obvious to say, but Oldboy's my favorite. The style of it was amazing. I'd heard a lot about Oldboy, but I've been very good at not ever spoiling anything for me. So the twists that come through that film, wow. It's got a really fun sense of humor as well, which sounds strange, but it's there. I'm genuinely so pumped that I've been able to catch up on that. One of my favorite watches of the lockdown so far, hands down. But I also rewatched some stuff on Mubi. Bong Joon-ho had a load of stuff on there. Obviously, after Parasite, everyone went, yep, inject me some more Bong Joon-ho in my veins. I've already seen almost all his films already. There's just two I hadn't. And one of those was on Mubi. It was Mother. Oh my god, that film is good. I didn't know anything about this one going in, and I just loved this film. The performances were amazing. Obviously, the direction was good. But like all of Bong Joon-ho's films, it just unravels in such a satisfying and meticulous way. So yeah, Mother, not to be confused with Darren Aronofsky's Mother, is probably one of my favorite Bong Joon-ho films now. I'm so happy I caught up on that as well. But let's move away from Mubi to another streaming service. Floaty mugs come back. Get down. Stay. Obviously, Disney Plus came out in the UK, so I couldn't not talk about things I've been watching on there. Little Mermaid, straight in there. Best Disney film of all time, probably. I rewatched that for, what, 100th time, maybe? Who knows? Still amazing. Although every rewatch when I get older is slightly difficult because I'm like, oh yeah, these things I still love about it. And then there'll be little things where you're like, I never noticed that as a kid, but that is a bit weird. It's a classic song. It's one of my favorite Disney songs. And in fact, all the songs in this film are incredible. But essentially, her only real driving motive in this film is that she just wants to have legs and run around. Bit too wet all the time, I don't know. I am aware there are better things to be doing with your time than dissecting classic kids Disney films, so there is that, but just little things in this film, you're like, I'll let you slip because you're Little Mermaid, but if this was anyone else, you'd be going fucking down. Thank God everything else about it's so goddamn magical and wonderful, hey? Because you could really go to town on this one. Also on Disney Plus, I watched The Country Bears. I don't really need to talk about this too much because I did a whole half-an-hour video on that film, so I'll link that down below, but if you haven't seen or heard of The Country Bears, you need it in your life. Just go and watch that video. That's the end of that. Let's move on to some TV though, because look, I'm not here to discriminate against different forms of media. I love myself a TV show as much as I do a good film, so there's a whole bunch of those at the moment. Who hasn't watched Tiger King at this point? You? Go watch it. I don't know how are you coping? There's memes about it everywhere. What the hell, man? I was late to Tiger King, admittedly, but oh boy, was it crazy when I got there. This show was crazy. This is some crazy shit. And I just thoroughly enjoyed it. I feel like as a documentary, it's very messy, and some moments, some episodes can feel like, what are you trying to say here? Where are we going with this? That's definitely to its detriment, but it's also one of the things that I think makes it infinitely more enjoyable, because the story itself is obviously very all over the place and crazy. They're all crazy, terrible people in this crazy, terrible world. I've seen some people like, oh, I kind of felt a bit bad for him. Why? He's a dickhead. And other people are like, well, Carol definitely did this. Did she? I'm not here to say whether or not I think that she did or didn't do that thing she's accused of doing in the show. No spoilers, cheeky. But it seems like a lot of people are forgetting that the people that are telling us that she did this thing are very clearly unhinged themselves, right? There's no actual reliable evidence other than they're pretty sure it happened. Can you prove it? No, but she definitely did it. Okay. Fine. That seems to be good enough for everyone online at the moment. It's kind of crazy. It came out of Joe Exotic's mouth, guys. Take it with a fucking... Forget pinch. Take it with a truck of salt, my guys. Also, recently, a new series of a TV show came out on Netflix. I'd never watched the previous seasons, even though everyone's always telling me to watch it, and I'm always thinking, yes, I should definitely do it, and just never get around to it. But I finally did. It's Ozark. I've not finished season 3 yet, so no spoilers in the comments, or I'll come for you. But it's gripping shit. I don't know what else to say that hasn't been said already. It is good. It's strange saying this being like, what, 4 years late to this, but what a surprise Jason Bateman is as a director, huh? Who saw that coming? I do feel like the first 2 seasons were disappointing to me. I still enjoyed it. I found it gripping overall, but there's so many times in this show, I don't know if anyone else feels this, but a huge, like, daunting thing is about to happen, and you're like, oh, they fucked it. They have just fucked it. There's no way out of this situation. And then either Laura Linney or Jason Bateman will have one conversation for about 5 minutes, and it'll be like, solved it. Let's just fucking carry on then. And then they do that every 2 episodes. Sometimes more frustrating than others. Sometimes I'll let it slip. But when it happens every 2 episodes, someone at the writing team's got to change, is all I'm saying. And it's all the more annoying because the conversations they seem to have to fix things when I'm watching it, I'm like, no, they've blown it. This is very obviously Laura Linney lying to this person. But the person opposite her will be like, oh, you're right. You've definitely got a point. Does she? She's clearly fucking with you. This family is made up of people that are terrible liars just floating through the cartel. Sometimes it's not that believable, guys. There's been 2 episodes, towards the middle of season 2 actually, where I was genuinely nearly didn't carry on watching. I'm happy I did because season 3 so far, 4 episodes in, is immediately a step up in every respect. So yeah, Ozark might sound like I just had a little shit on it, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm very excited to see where season 3 goes. Yeah, count me in. But I guess on that note, we should probably try and wrap up here because I'm aware I'm keeping you for much longer than I should do. And that just ain't right. That just ain't gonna fly with me. There are more things I've been watching, so I'll probably do another one of these videos at some point. Maybe I'll live stream it. I don't know. We'll see what it goes there. But I'll keep you updated on what I've been watching in some form or another. But most importantly, I want you guys to let me know what you've been watching down in the comments below. I also really want to start doing shorter reviews based on recommendations from you guys that I haven't already seen. So please suggest anything, any film down below in the comments below. If I like the look of it, I'll watch it. I'll do a review. I'll shout you out. And we'll get a nice little community collaboration going. As usual, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see me talk about more shit, you can click the subscribe button. Guess what? I got a whole bunch of other videos that are questionably funny for you to peruse. So kick back and enjoy that, my guy. I'll see you guys soon for some more wholesome content on the channel. Until then, make sure you're staying safe. Make sure you're not doing anything silly. Like running around outside sneezing on people. I'm going to go finish Ozark and then start Too Hot to Handle. Oh, I'm going to hate myself while I watch it, aren't I?